Hi, how's it going, resident of Collinwood here, and I'm here to give my thoughts and opinions on Jamie Lee Curtis wanting to come back for the next installment of the Halloween in the Halloween franchise, the follow up to the this year's movie. Um, she wants to come back as Laurie Strode. She's open to it. Now, I've said before, I don't want Michael and Laurie done to death. I was saying that prior to this movie. And I'm going to echo that a little bit here, but I'm also going to look at it another way too. You can't just look at Laurie Strode in this. You got to look at three specific characters: uh, Laurie Strode, Karen Strode, and Allyson Strode. All three Strode women, because they all three lived. Now, my thing of this is, it's easy enough to explain Laurie coming back. Um, and Karen as well. Allison is actually going to be the trickiest because remember, she's 18. She's graduated from high school. She really has no reason to stick around. So that's going to be, to me, not necessarily Laurie's part in this, is more Allison's part in this because with the new Halloween movie, we were told something that Michael's new favorite obsession was Allyson. And that really was not shown at all in this new movie. Um, to me, in my point of view, he never really chased her. She ran from him, but she was never in any real danger, other than when she was in the back of that car. When she ran, then she had a reason, but he still wasn't pursuing her. So, as far as Michael being obsessed with Allison, I didn't see that at all. So now coming back with this, you know, bringing Allison's character back is okay. Not necessarily bringing her back, but this girl is graduating from high school. What would be the sense in her staying? I can't see Allison coming back. At least not right away in this movie. I think she'll be there, but I think the best thing about this movie, like the best thing they could do going forward with this, I don't want Michael and Laurie done to death, but I think you need to end it with this next movie and the Michael and Laurie because do what they did in Resurrection. You got to kill Laurie Strode off. Okay, we get it. Laurie has to me, believe she killed Michael. I mean, to me, she can't be the same character we just saw. Because if you can't believe your plan worked, then what was the point? So that's where my focus lies with this is when you look at Laurie Strode's plan, what it was to lure Michael to that house. She necessarily didn't lure Michael to that house. Dr. Sartain brought him to that situation. And that's what I'm going to say. What are they going to do with this next one? Bringing those two characters together because there is going to be no Dr. Sartain. He's dead. I can't imagine there being another doctor who's as obsessed with Michael because what would be the point in that? There was no other doctor even around Dr. Sartain. Because he spent most of his life, after Loomis did, spending it with Michael. So, my presumption would be the easy way to start this off would be if the national media, like CNN, CBS, ABC News, wanted to interview the woman who killed Michael Myers, and that being Laurie Strode. Now, no, Laurie didn't do this to become famous, but look at reality television. Reality television is people, to me, looking for 15 minutes. This would be the opposite. This isn't a woman who went looking for 15 minutes, but is going to get it anyway because she killed a very notorious killer in Michael Myers, or at least she believes she did. And so does the rest of the world. Why wouldn't they? They haven't seen him. They believe his body is ashes. So to me, that's how this new movie should start: is them wanting to interview Laurie Strode, wanting to talk about to the woman who killed Michael Myers, that being Jamie Lee Curtis. It's easy enough to bring her character back. Again, I'm not necessarily worried about how to get her character to return, or even Karen's character, because Karen's going to be in Haddonfield. Karen lives in Haddonfield. And Laurie could just live with Karen if she wanted to. I think there was a big... By the end of this movie, there was, in a sense, somewhat of a reconciliation between mother and daughter. That... And more so their relationship, that, okay, I get it now. She got put in that situation, and she gets it. So, my viewpoint of that is... Again, I'm going to go back to Allyson here after a bit. So she doesn't, in a sense, want to be interviewed by CNN or ABC or CBS. She doesn't want to be interviewed by those people. Laurie doesn't. But Karen talks her into it. Like, come on, Mom, why not? And even after maybe conversations over the phone, Allyson, again, being away at college, she convinces her, like, come on, Grandma, why not? Again, I don't think Allyson should be a focal point in this story yet. I think if you're going to bring Allyson forward now, Allyson has to be more of a background character and then come into the limelight to sort of take up the mantle of the new hero of this story. If she's going to truly be that character, Laurie Strode's got to go. We can't, if you're going to put over Allyson, you can't have Laurie Strode hanging around. Now, would I kill off Laurie Strode at the beginning of the movie? If I were them, yes. And just, that would be the catalyst for her coming back home. For her coming back to Haddonfield would be the death of her grandmother. But then, though, too, I could see how a lot of people would get pissed at that, which is just silly. I don't understand the love affair of Jamie Lee. I don't. I didn't mind them killing her off in Resurrection, or the way they did it. I actually liked that. But for argument's sake, let's say you, again, make this whole movie centered around Laurie Strode. And instead of being the gun-carrying, crazy person that she was, she's actually more reformed that, okay, he's dead, I can live my life now, I can move on. And everybody is actually still celebrating Halloween. The only catch is this time, so is Laurie. She's actually happy Halloween's coming back around. There's no Michael Myers, at least she believes that. Because I can't see her sensing him. They're not related anymore. Why would she have a sixth sense of him being alive? To me, she wouldn't. And so my hope is that when they bring this back is that she's that way, that she's more carefree, that she's the Laurie Strode that we sort of saw 40 years prior to this one. Not the same exact character, just, okay, a lot more carefree. Like, okay, he's gone. I can move, like I said, I can move on. And as Halloween is approaching and everything is looking fine, Halloween starts to happen, and bodies start dropping, and, you know, at first people would be like, well, wait, what's really going on? Is it just, maybe it's a copycat? But you find out, no, it really is Michael Myers, and by the end of this next movie, he should kill off Laurie Strode, prompting Allyson to return home to bury her grandmother and to vow revenge for her grandmother's death. To me, if you're really going to bring Allyson to the forefront, Jamie Lee Curtis cannot be the forefront character if you're wanting Allyson to be that forefront character. If you want a new generation of characters or new characters, look, say what you want, and I know I'm going to get heat for saying this. Jamie Lee Curtis did not want to pass the torch before. If she's now finally willing to pass the torch, then okay, pass it and move on to a new wave of characters. I feel even though he doesn't get talked enough about, Josh Hartnett really held his own, and he had a lot more screen time with Jamie Lee Curtis than what Andy Matichak did. So to me, he held his own and stood, right there side by side, and held his own with Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween H2O. That's the one thing I loved about H2O was Josh Hartnett's performance with Jamie Lee Curtis's performance. They worked well off of each other, and he held his own too. With Andy Matichak, yeah, she held her own, but what they did with her, more or less, they made her be alone at times more so than they did with Josh Hartnett. Now, with Josh Hartnett's character, he was more in danger than Matichak's character was. Way more in danger. Um, so, my thought of this is going forward. Again, I don't want Michael and Laurie done to death. So, make the choice to either end Laurie Strode, kill Laurie Strode off once and for all. And I know there are people who are going to hate that suggestion. But if you're really going to put, like I said, if you're going to put over Andy Matichak's character, Allyson, you're going to need to. Do I still want a Halloween 9? Yes. Yes, I do. I know a lot of people aren't going to like that one either. But if they follow this, I think that would be the best way to go, to have Laurie Strode be prompt as this hero, as a person who killed Michael Myers, and take it that direction. And then by the end of the movie, she dies. She gets killed by him because everybody's now come to realize he's not dead. Now, as far as explaining where he went, I'm sure they're going to have a way that he got out of that fire. I'm sure they'll explain that easy enough. But where has he been all this time? I think now this next movie, because it wasn't what disappointed me. There are two things that disappointed me in this new Halloween, but this was the third one was no Myers house. Michael went home. Michael went back to the place he knows best, the Myers house. That's the place you could say he went after maybe he somehow put himself out. I don't know how they're going to roll that off, but love to hear you guys' suggestions on this. Let me know, because I can't see where else he would have went once he got out of that situation. So let me know what you guys think. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.